Hello, I'm the Dark Master, and welcome back to my LEGO reviews. In today's video, I shall be reviewing set number 71790, Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound, from the LEGO Ninjago theme, specifically the Dragon Rising Season 1 sub-theme. Originally released on June 1st, 2023, it comes with 190 pieces in 3 bags, 3 minifigures, and a single sticker sheet. Let us start, as we always do, these set reviews, that at least have them, the minifigures. From left to right, we got Merge Lloyd, Merge Jay, and the Claw General. Let us start with the heroes. The Green Ninja Lloyd. Starting with his head, he uses the same ninja hood piece seen in my review of set number 30650, Kai and Rapton's Temple Battle, which I reviewed around a year ago or so, and I found it to be good. Plus, now it's in green, my favorite color, which really complements the nice shaping on this. Going down to the face and removing the armor and headpiece to get a better look at the face print, it's two-sided. The first is your typical Lloyd face we've seen various times since the LEGO Ninjago movie, with the green eyes, brown eyebrows that are narrowed, and a scowl of determination. Nothing new, but it's always neat to see this one. The second face print is more interesting, as he wears a black mask with green energy / leaf shapes that sort of give off the vibe of green energy. Going down from there, we see this robust armor piece in green, and I must say, while the shaping is nice, I admittedly do find it a little too bulky for my personal taste, though its back can hold 2 katanas, so it does have some use. And of course, it's always nice to get it in new colors, and green is a new color, even if it's for a piece I don't personally like. Going down from there, we see his torso print, which is a set of ninja robes that are greenish in color, with golden sets of belt buckles and markings, as well as a sand green underrobes. It looks great and gives off, those ninja vibes you're always wanting to see. Going to the back, we see a golden symbol of what I think is meant to be the Source Dragon. It's cool, but not, very noticeable, especially when it's covered up by the armor. You don't really miss much. But I do like the patterning that surrounds it, that sort of resembles green energy. Going to the arms, they are molded in green with dark green hands. Perfectly fine, nothing really new there. Going to the legs, they are in green with some dark green knee armor / kneecaps and a sand greenish belt. In terms of weaponry, he wields a pair of golden katanas, perfectly utilitarian and, nothing particularly special. Overall, this is a neat take on the stoic green ninja, and it's always neat to see him again. Going to the second hero, Jay, who funnily enough wasn't even really present for the most part in Season 1 of Dragons Rising, which is the sequel to Ninjago. Most people just consider it still part of Ninjago, as do I personally, but regardless, his headpiece is the same as last time but in blue, which, it's always neat to see pieces in more colors, even if blue is not my favorite. Going down to his face, it is double-sided. The first side is one we've seen him have before since the LEGO Ninjago movie. He has that determined scowl and those freckles that, make him stand out. The second face has him wearing a black mask with exaggerated lightning marks and a cocky grin. It's neat, and while it is superficially similar to that worn by Lloyd, the fact that the markings are more jagged does make it look more lightning-y. Going down from there, we see that the armor / robe piece I've discussed before is now in blue. And it's fine. It's always neat to see it in new colors and can hold two katanas. Going from there and removing the armor for a better look, we see his torso print has ninja robes, but in blue, and has a palish blue underrobes with some golden marks. Going to his back printing, we see a golden dragon mark, the same as the one we saw in Lloyd, but it's surrounded by markings that are a lot more jagged, which is meant to be an allusion to lightning. It's just kind of neat, and it's a shame that it's covered up by the armor. Going to his arms, they are blue, with dark blue hands. Perfectly fine, nothing groundbreaking, and perfectly utilitarian. Going to the legs, they are molded in blue and have some good printing in the form of dark bluish kneecaps and a pale colored belt that seems to be off-white. In terms of weaponry, he wields the same as Lloyd, being a pair of golden katanas that, are nothing new for Ninjago, but are perfectly fine, I guess. Overall, a great installment of a classic hero. Moving on to the villain of the set, and arguably the most original of the three minifigures to be found in the set, there is the Claw General of the Imperium. I like how in this faction of villains, the higher ranked individuals actually have less gold, which is a kind of a neat subversion. Usually you see more gold the higher you go up, but it does make me wonder how they afford to give all their lower minions golden armor, but regardless, back on topic, starting with the head, he has a pretty neat new helmet piece, which is sort of Triceratops-like frill with some clear samurai inspirations, a jaw-like chin guard, and a pair of horns that resemble those of a Triceratops slash certain types of staghorn beetles. Removing the helmet to get a better look at the face, it is a shining gold face print on top of an already gold head. It has four eyes and a sort of reptilian visage that resembles the Predator in certain ways, but there's no second face, though it has some decent armor printing back there, so it's not completely blank. Going down to the armor, it is a bulky black set of paladins with a stud on the back that allows for some customization. I do like this piece. I know that I kind of complained about the ninja having a bulky armor, but I think for villains it's better fitting because they are meant to be sort of these heavily armored drones, whereas ninjas are supposed to be more, athletic and sleek. Overall, it's a neat armor piece that I hope we see in more colors. Going down to the torso and removing the armor for a better view, he has some highly detailed gold armor printing with some orange power seeping out, as well as some dark grays and blacks. It kind of looks like an angry face, which is kind of humorous. Going to the back, we see a slightly less notable printing that, while still detailed to a certain extent, doesn't have as much feeling to me, and it's not really much is lost with the armor covering it up, in all honesty. Going to the arms, they are molded in gold, very shiny, with black hands that are utilitarian in nature. Continuing down to the legs, they are black and have some cool knee pad and boot printing. In terms of weaponry, he has a very large spear using a bow staff in gold as a handle and a futuristic spear tip used as swords for other figures, which means this must be a pretty big spear. Overall, a neat bad guy that is very unique, even if it has a bit of heavy Warhammer influence being evident here, and can be used as both a foot soldier and a bigger mook. Now let's go on to the pieces of the set. So in terms of pieces, there's a good selection. Lots of gold, claw pieces, a lot of those fur pieces introduced in Lego Chima, theme now in black, and one in maroon. I kind of wish they had given two. I also like the large brace plates. The leftover pieces are not much to write about. The most interesting inclusion is a piece printed with wolf eyes and a sand green piece that is well hidden in the build. Speaking of that, let us now go on to what these pieces build. Oh, and also there's this sticker sheet. There's only 2 stickers on them, and I'll talk about them later when I get to the part of the build they are on. So this is the Photak Beast, though the set calls it a dragon hunting hound, and honestly I think that's kind of a cooler name, but starting with the head, thanks to the parts usage, it really does capture the feeling slash look of the head of a wolf. With a cute little nose and a mouth with a tooth piece in black that emulates a furry chin, it can open its mouth via a hinge joint a fair amount, allowing you to really go whoo with it. Going up to the head, we see a pair of ears which can be flapped up and down at a hinge joint, which gives a level of emotional range and posability. There are tons of piece usages here that create a very fur-like texture, and going to the neck, it is a ball joint that allows for a lot of articulation. Going to the torso, it starts with some highly layered golden armor before getting to the shoulders. There's a seat for a minifigure to sit on. Sure, it's orange, so it kind of sticks out when no one is sitting on it, but that's not really viewable most of the time, especially as you usually have a minifigure sitting there. It's still great looking, though, and the orange piece doesn't really hurt so much as there is maroon in the color scheme of this set. The front legs have shoulder articulation thanks to a ball joint. I like the golden armor on the upper half, but sadly, due to the piece usage here, there's no elbow articulation, so it just kind of stuck doing this push-up pose. The lower legs are not as gold, being rather black in coloration, and going to the feet, they're small, but the golden claws for toes provides a decent base for the wolf to stand on, and 3 articulation points, as well as articulation at the base of the leg and top of the foot. Honestly, I think that it looks good, but it does look a bit off from behind, as well as the model generally not looking good from beneath. Plus, the lack of that part of articulation does hurt a little bit. Going down to the back, we see some nice shaping that invokes fur being blown in the wind slash the animal pouncing down on something. Going forwards down, we see a flag which has a really neat sticker that I think you must apply in order to get the most out of it. Continuing down the back, we see a golden variant of the spiny wheel piece introduced in Exonites. The lower back is a black slope with a fine sticker, though it's not as needed as the one on the flag. Plus, if you just dislike stickers, you can easily leave them off, so it's not really that big of a deal either way. Unfortunately, the back legs have even less articulation with a very off-colored hip piece that uses a ratchet joint. The leg has some nice shaping and is primarily black, indicating it's less armored. Though again, there are no, knee articulation there. Finally, we come to the feet, and they're the same as the front ones, so nothing really much to say about that. And lastly, we come to the tail, which thanks to a ball joint has some amazing articulation. The bushy, short aesthetic really makes it stand out compared to other tails in Ninjago creatures. Overall, this is a really great build. Now let's discuss the positives, negatives, my final thoughts on this set. So in terms of positives, right off the bat, the minifigures of this set are amazing. Lloyd and Jay are neat to see, and their new iterations, while I think they may be a little bulky, are still great to see. The Claw Commander works both as a leader and an army builder, and that's just really neat. Plus, the overall aesthetic is definitely unique. The Photok Wolf, or I just like to call it the big wolf guy, is also a great build. The only major flaws I would say would be the lack of articulation in the front and back legs, as well as the fact that it doesn't look the best from the bottom. But overall, I think this is a great set. Plus, it's very affordable thanks to the price. So I definitely recommend you get this if you have any interest in Lego Ninjago or Lego in general, as it's a really good gift for anyone, really. Anyway, I'm the Dark Master, and if you liked this video, you liked it, but if you loved it, consider subscribing and share it around. Take care, and have a wonderful day. Peace out.